Okay, welcome to another episode of Inspired Content, where we read a couple more stories out of the Wizard's Dozen and the World's Best Science Fiction of 1969. The two stories we read this time were The Worm That Flies by Brian Aldiss and Efrum's Marble by Joy Oestricher. Sorry if I didn't get that right. I would say The Worm That Flies, I saw where it was probably going to go, but it was so hard to get through the first part of that story that I began to question whether that was where it was going. And it felt like I got halfway through the story before I really felt the story kind of hit its own stride. And then it kind of went where I thought it was going, and then it just went with a finishing that I felt didn't work as well as I would have hoped some kind of ending would be on that. So I feel like half good, half hard to deal with. I would give it a give it a 4.7 out of a 5.3. Efrum's Marbles, or Marble, I'm not sure, by Joy Oestricher. I would give that one, I feel like I can give that a 4.5 out of a 4.9. It was alright. It was a good story. I like some of what they were trying to do with it. I like the characters. I like the item that was being referred to. I just felt like it was thin, short, and there was more room to play with it. It's sort of like you came in late to a story and left early from the story, and you only got really like the middle part of a story. But the ideas that they inspired, after people have killed all the animals and plants of the world, but developed a technology that gives them complete control over their physical form and aging, maybe they institute something like jury duty, where everybody has to occasionally take over and be part of the wildlife of the world for a time. After building the ultimate universal translator, a person learns to hear all living things, including trees, animals, all sorts of plants and fungi and everything out there. He can hear everything speaking and telling things to them. And so he then starts to wonder, and he builds something kind of like a wind chime, only for the earth. So you'd set up these rocking stones that can plink against each other. And so you do it in such a way that just they're sensitive enoughly balanced that they will occasionally just jiggle and bounce against each other, producing a sound that you can then use as translator on and translate what the world is saying to him. The earth is speaking. A post-apocalypse where a person is collecting what seem like strange gems and stones from the wasteland around them and building some kind of sculpture with them based off of an artwork from a distant past. And it turns out these are schematics for a machine that, once fully completed, creates something that changes the world forever after. Whether it's a doorway to people who have moved to another world to escape the calamity that caused the apocalypse, or if it opens up a storage device that stores all their memories of who they were before the apocalypse. Right, and so the other three story ideas are for Efrum's Marbles. A gambler with a special coin that he holds in reserve until desperate need, because it always wins. But it's cursed, and it makes him pay in other ways for the victory. Monsters which when slain crumble to ash and leave behind their eyes, glassy spheres, that will likewise destroy things they are in contact with when those things are damaged. So like when you slay the demon with the glassy eyes, the eyes turn it to ash, but the eyes remain behind. If you collect those eyes, you then have these things that when placed inside, on top of a safe or wedged inside of a piece of, like a door frame, and then you strike the door in enough of a way to do damage to the door, the eyes flash and the thing crumbles to ashes. A multi-eyed monster that takes a humanoid form and keeps its extra eyes as marbles in its pouch. And that pouch may be stolen by a character or something, and it's sort of, maybe you're helping that monster regain its eyes and don't know that that's what you're doing. You just think you're catching a thief for a rich client, or you're the monster seeking to get your eyes back from some horrible thief who has otherwise trapped you in your form until you can get your eyes back. Alright, so those are the ideas I got for this one. Hopefully there's some inspiration in there for you, and I'll see you for the next one.